Thank you, Sir Chair. My name is John Bulmer, and I am from Florida. I reserve my right to yield my time to Delegate Summation, also from Florida. Fellow delegate recently mentioned the idea that terrorist cells are unfounded propaganda. I would refute this point on two accounts. Primarily, it is believed that several of the September 11th hijackers did illegally cross our southern border to gain access into the United States. A well-founded fear of those that would do every legal citizen of the United States harm is not propaganda. What is propaganda is the simplistic belief that 12 million illegal immigrants stand to salute the American flag, have a tear well up in their eye when they hear our national anthem, and always wear their star-spangled boxers. This belief is naive and unfounded, and I yield my time to Delegate Suman.
A minute and 10 seconds.
My name is Apur Suman, and I am from Florida. I am a legal immigrant, and I am still not a citizen of this country. For the last 12 years of my life, I have sat through paperwork, lines, and all kinds of restrictions on my ability to become a citizen. And this proposal undermines the effort that me and my parents have put through, all the lines, all the TSA agents that insist that I am a terrorist, and all the other concerns that I've had to go through just because of the fact that I'm an immigrant. And because of that, I value my citizenship more than anyone else that I can imagine, because of the fact that I had to work and work to obtain it. And by giving this option to illegal immigrants, although I understand it gives it to legal immigrants as well, undermines the work and the efforts of those who have come to this country legally and gone through all the red tape, all the lines, all the restrictions, and just to wait for their citizenship. I'm 2 years away, and now with this proposal in place, this will undermine the last 12 years of my life where I've waited for my citizenship. Thank you.
Other than with this delegation, I reserve my right to yield any remaining of my time to Delegate Brown from Pennsylvania.
That is right. Please suspend for a minute. Delegates, can you please cease the undercurrents while other speakers are presenting? Thank you. You may resume.
I just want to point out the fact that the previous delegate stated that the United States is a country based founded on legal immigrants. Let me just remind you that our founding father didn't have passport, and there was no legal immigration at that time, and they came to the United States without any passport that make them illegal immigrants. So this, I'm totally in favor of this proposal because first, it don't undermine the privilege to be a citizen of the United States. I'm a legal immigrant. I came to this country knowing that I have to wait until I'm 18 years old in order to apply for citizenship. So that this don't undermine any effort made for by those who had to wait for those years. And for that, I yield my time to the lady from Pennsylvania.
You have 45 seconds.
Cyber Call, Pennsylvania. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Mr. Chair. I strongly support this proposal for one economic reason. Most money that's generated by illegal immigrants working in this country today goes back to the countries of their origin, to go to their families. With this, we are encouraging families to come to the United States because if we provide education as a gateway to citizenship, more money will stay in the United States, improving our economy. Second of all, the notion that illegal immigrants are coming to this country en masse to disrupt us, to destroy us, and to destroy our culture and to endanger us has been the same strain, the same propaganda that has followed every single immigrant wave that has come to this country. It has followed the Irish, it has followed the Italians, it has followed the Jews, it has followed every single ethnicity, and we must fight that racism and propaganda. People who want to come to this country because they want the same opportunities we feel. When my ancestors came to this country from Ireland...
Delegate time has elapsed.
From the state of Texas, I request the right to yield any remaining time to Harbaugh from... Sure. Thank you. First of all, what you have to realize is that this proposal completely destroys the entire purpose of a legal immigration system. Now let me explain why. With this proposal, it's a double-edged sword. It incentivizes education, but it also gives an incentive for illegal immigration and destroys any purpose of legal immigration. The purpose of our legal immigration system is to ensure that people exiting the country is equivalent to people entering the country. The way our illegal immigration system works is based on the number of jobs. To get a visa, a corporate sponsor has to sponsor you and explain why to the federal government there's not an American resident, an American citizen that can use that job. Currently, in the job market of today, when there isn't any jobs, our immigration system is practically on a hold. Before my family could come to the United States, we had to go through paperwork to ensure why the infectious disease doctors weren't here, because they were necessary. Currently, legal immigration is on a freeze because they aren't jobs. With this proposal, we defeat any purpose of legal immigration whatsoever and pretty much promote illegal immigration. With that, I yield any remaining time to Harbo.
45 seconds.
Julia Harbo, Maldiven. Thank you, Sir Chair. I'd like to bring the committee's attention to the fact that it costs well over $500 to become a citizen. We have already paid for these tax dollars for the education, so why do we have to now pay again for illegal immigrants to get citizenship? I just think that's completely unfair. And yes, I agree that it should be easier for legal immigrants to get citizenship. But for illegal immigrants, why are we advocating for people to do something illegal? Hey, come over to the United States, get educated, and then you just become a citizen, while these people have been here for years trying to get citizenship, and they can't even get it. We should make it easier for legal immigrants to get citizenship, but not illegal immigrants. I just think that does not make any sense, and I urge you all to not vote for this proposal, and I...
Thank you, Sir Chair. From Oklahoma. So I have several arguments I'd like to recognize here. First and foremost, the Supreme Court rules for those who are not citizens. So even though a previous delegate wrote that the law does not apply to citizens, the law does apply to people that are not citizens as well because they reside within this country. The Supreme Court has stated that, and the Supreme Court does recognize that. Moving on, diploma is no cakewalk. For us, it's easy to go to high school, and because we live in America, but these people have language barriers, they have culture barriers, they have many different levels of adversity they must deal with while going to high school. This is not just a simple process as many of the delegates are undermining it to be. This is going to be hard for these people to come into this country and graduate from high school. So this is not a simple process. Moving on, we're not encouraging people that come to this country for immigration trying to escape a hard or tough reality. They don't know about American policy. They want to come here for opportunity. We're not going to encourage people to come to this country simply because we're giving a proactive solution for legal immigration. We're just moving on here, they're working for citizenship, and I'll outline some of the basic requirements to be a citizen. You must be able to speak English. You must be a person of good character. You must pledge allegiance to the United States. You must know U.S. history or government. And you must pledge that you were not currently supporting another country that you were from before. All 5 of these requirements can be met in 4 years of high school. Why should we make this process even harder than it needs to be? If these people are meeting the requirements, if these people are coming to this country and learning about American culture, then we can make this process better for everyone. Moving on here. High school graduates generate $287,000 or more in a lifetime, and that statistic is proven by the Economic Institute of Statistics from 2007. So these people are going to come in, get an education, and give back to society, which is crucial because we're paying for education and we have no choice. So why not let them give back to society, give back and pay for the education that they receive within this country? Moving on. Okay, so line 29, talking about legal versus illegal immigrants, and then how a previous speaker came up and said that they're working for a very long time to receive citizenship. And I fully agree with him. We're going to right this wrong. So fellow people in the future that want to come here, they can do this more easily. We're not trying to undermine, we're just trying to correct a wrong. Legal citizens have every right to become American citizens. We should not make this process so long, and I agree, which is exactly what this proposal is doing. It's making the process shorter for people that come to this country legally and then want to become citizens. And so we're going to correct that wrong of people working very hard for something that they should have had earlier. Moving on. Now, moving on to the debt. This is going to mitigate the debt because we're spending so much money again on these illegal immigrants getting a citizen education here, and they're going to put back, as I already mentioned earlier, they're going to give back to society. They're going to be more well-educated. They're going to be less people on welfare because legal immigrants do have welfare. If they get out of high school and they don't have opportunities, where are they going to go? Who's going to hire them? They're educated, but they're not recognized by the government. So this is going to give back to society through them giving back, going to higher education, going to the workforce, or going to other kinds of education to pay back. And then moving on. The whole terrorist sect argument, I'm just going to simply say children are not terrorists. They're not going to come to this country and say, hey, we want to destroy America. These children are impressionable and they're going to learn about the American culture, so that argument should be dispelled. Finally, my last few of my closing arguments, I would just like to say that this country, this great country should be open for all. This legal immigration should be easier. I'm not saying we should give them amnesty, but this is making a proactive process so they may gain citizenship. I urge passage of this proposal for a bright future for all immigrants in this country. Thank you, fellow delegates.
Time's elapsed.